वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। ॐ वेदोदधिं समुन्मथ्य ज्ञानरत्नं समुद्रितं येन तस्मै वसिष्ठाय गुरुणां गुरवे नमः। वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय। शब्द ब्रह्म की जय। सरस्वती महारानी की जय। योग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। हरि ओम। योग वशिष्ठ निर्वाण प्रकरण उत्तरार्ध, second half. We are discussing on the chapter 48th, and in that we were discussing yesterday that the thoughts should be given up. One should stop all the thoughts. The thought waves are cause for all the desires, miseries, attachment and bondage and the whole world. Inward, outward, all the contacts, everything. So one has to give up thoughts. That means to have an one-pointed mind. And that one-pointed mind also has to overcome. That one-pointed becomes no mind. And that is the absolute goal. For that, mind should be stopped. And then, that is one way. The other way was Artha Sankat, the word meanings and the value of the objects and the names of the objects and its meaning and its use, everything together, they are cause for all the problems and miseries in this world. So that should be also abandoned. That means complete silence of the mind and everything. When mind is silenced, so there cannot be any actions by mind, by speech, by body or senses. No action is possible. So that is called inaction state. Action has the reaction that cannot be avoided. If action is there, there has to be reaction. And that also we have seen. Action becomes in a reaction in the same process. Action is nothing but a process, changing process, and same action in the course of time and in different situations, change of situations, space, the same action becomes the reaction. Just as the one seed in the course of its development or changes or we can say growth, the same seed becomes a tree and again multiplied into many seeds. So the seed remains a seed and it multiplies. That is how we understand action becomes reaction. Action itself becomes the reaction, but it is changed, it is opposite to itself, and action is done and reaction is enjoyed. So in this way, all these actions and reactions, they have to be overcome. That is how mind should be stopped. If mind is there, action and reaction has to be there. Because mind only engages the speech and the senses to act, to have contact with the sense objects. In this way, mind is the root cause. So you have to overcome all these daily transactions with the world outside and inside, and we have to, thereby you have to stop the mind and then absolute, complete silence, stoppage of everything. That is how one can reach the final goal. Final goal is the balanced state which has been imbalanced, and the result is the world. World is nothing but an imbalanced state of the same balanced state which is known as the absolute truth. So you have to give up the world to rest in the absolute forever, eternally. That is what we saw in this yesterday. And yesterday we also discussed what is Purusarth, self-effort, how the action is done by whom, who is the doer. We have discussed already long ago many times how is the triads, the doer, doing and done object, they appear to be different from each other. The doing process is different from the doer, and the done object also is different from the doer. But analytically, when we see, the process is nothing but it is in one. The doer itself is the doing process and done object. Just as one sees his own hand by his own eyes, it is within the body. The eye sees the hands, the body sees the body in the body. In this way, when the absolute one is one without a second, so whatever is going on, if at all some actions are going on, If at all some doer is there, doing process is there, and done object is there, everything is within the one. So from that sense, there is no difference. It only same thing, seen from different angles, and it is named differently. And that's how this action and reaction, it is nothing but same one thing. And this action and reaction is seen as the world. The world has some basic principles. The world runs on the principle action and reaction. Same thing, from different angle it is seen and it is understood as cause and effect. Cause becomes effect and effect becomes again cause for another effect. In this way, the changing process goes on in a cycle which is repeated again and again. So, world means cause and effect, action and reaction, or triads, doer, doing, done. Or we can say changing process, eternally changing process. That also is understood as creating differences, then only it can change. So in this way we know the world which is always unreliable because it is always changing. So we cannot get any peace or any happiness in this world. The world is a house of tragedies, miseries, problems. So we have to give up the world in order to rest in peace eternally. That is the goal of every being. Purusartha, this action, there would be one doer, then only the doing process can be seen. One has to do, he becomes the doer, and doing process is there, and the object which is done we see as a triad. So, who is the doer? That also we have seen. The doer is not the body, not the mind, not the prana. They get together by cooperative process, by helping each other. All these group together they perform an action. And the ego, which is ever-changing, the ego claims, I am the doer, which is ever-changing. So, really speaking, there is no doer. And that doer, which is known as ego, that is a phase of the mental process. Mental process means fourfold mind. The basic starting point is known as subconscious mind, chitta, where all the seeds means impressions, means memories. That also means the tendency to multiply or to act is there. whatever impressions we have, whatever memories we have in that subconscious mind, it has a tendency inherited from the very beginning of the creation. From time immemorial, nobody knows when it started. The tendency is to multiply. Ekoham bahusyama. One, I am one, let me be many. So that inherited tendency is seen in every chitta, every subconscious mind. And here in this world, we have got limited individual minds, subconscious minds, which is called chitta, individual chitta, which is part and parcel of the absolute chitta, that means universal mind. So the tendency to multiply causes this action and reaction. Action is nothing but movement, a process. So, as long as this tendency is dormant in the chitta, subconscious mind, so long the action will go on. That is the cause for the world changing process. And individually we know it is the evolution process of the soul or the life's journey, eternal journey. And it goes on changing. So birth and death, again and again it is repeated. Now, who is the doer? Our question is, who is the doer? We have to annihilate this doership. So when we analyze the whole fourfold mind, they get together, subconscious mind, and it becomes I, the ego, and it becomes the intellectual process, deciding factors. When the two waves of thoughts, they are created, they will be, of course, different from each other, so there will be relationship. That means they will act against each other. Pairs of opposites start from here. So, which is the cause for the world. So these two thoughts, they act against each other, and the diagonal force creates the third decisive thought. That is called deciding factor, that is called the intellectual process. When two gross thoughts act against each other, the decisive thought comes out as a diagonal force, and that is called the decision. Decision is known as intellect. Every moment, everything is so quickly decided. Say, if we see something, then and there we know what color of it, what shape of it is there, how it is acting, everything. Because of mind has the contact with the object, so in a process, then process means different thoughts, they act against each other, and decision is taken. It is, its color is so and so, its shape is like this, its all the qualities, whatever we see, it is decided by the intellect. And of course mind is the gross process. So all these fourfold mind, and they are activated because of some energy which is inherited from this beginning. That energy which is known as prana, the vital energy, is limited just as the chitta is limited. So mind is limited, so prana also is limited, which is the part and parcel of the universal prana. Prana means energy. Energy means the active process, that is called action or reaction, or the process of growth or journey or the evolution, whatever way we see it. So, prana alone cannot do anything. Prana has to take the help of the giver of the tendency, that is chitta, and decisive power, intellect, and the mind, the thoughts, which have the instrument as the senses, and senses get contact with the sense objects, and then only the action is done. So, when we see all these analytically, then we find there is no singular doer anywhere seen. So whole group get together to do an action. So in between comes the ego, which is identifying factor with everything as it is going on, changing everywhere. That I says I am the chitta, I am the intellect, I am the mind, I am the prana, I am the senses, I am the body, I am whole group, I am individuals also. So in this way, this I, which is not clear, which is ever changing, that claims I am the doer. So now you can find who is the doer. There is no doer, particular doer, who can claim, I have done this action. This whole world we have seen again and again. When whole world get together, including the universal identity and also individual identities, they get together and cooperatively something can be done. There is no singular identity which can say, I have done it. Because action is nothing but a changing process. So, one cannot change. If there will be two, then only one can change into two. So, action is a changing process. Naturally, there will be not one, but more than one. So, a group has to get together to give rise an action. Logically, if you see like this, no one identity can do any action because it has to be one only. If it moves, it becomes two. So, action is a process, so it cannot be done by one. Let it be any one. Even if the absolute one comes to do some action, he cannot, because there is no action in one. It is beyond all these movements, so it is beyond the reach of time, space and causations and mind and intellect and speech, beyond everything, because it is absolutely one. And when it appears to be true, then only this apparent appearance is known as the world, which one becomes many, looks like many, appears as many, and that is known as the world. World is nothing but action and reaction this way. So the whole world has to get together to give, to have an action, to do an action. So there is no singular doer. Nobody can claim, I am the doer. By no means. You cannot be the doer. That's how, keeping all these views on the front, just as when we see the whole world map before us, and then anything, every city, any country, we can find out in that. Similarly, when we keep all these facts and figures before us, we find there is no doer, no action actually is done anywhere, nor there is any reaction. Why? Because this world is not there at all. Why? Why world is not there? From analytical, logical point, world is nothing but a process, and process is imbalanced state. Imbalanced state is possible if there is a substratum which was balanced. Balance only can be imbalanced. Imbalance cannot be of itself. Imbalance will be seen on the balanced state only. First of all, just as we discussed, one is to be there on the first. First is one, then only any digits you can imagine or count or do, whatever. One has to be in the very beginning. Without one, there is no two, no three, nothing. One has to be there. And one is a common factor in every counted digits, everywhere. One has to be present. And if it is not one, that means one appears to be many, but one's presence is there everywhere. The presence of one cannot be avoided, neither cannot be, it cannot be approved. So in the very beginning there was one. And that, because it is absolutely one, no second is possible. So that one appears to be many, which is not real. It just appears to be. That's how the world is not at all found as it is. Whatever we see, whatever we know as the world, it is a changing phenomena, and every moment, everything in all conditions is. So it is, whatever is seen, it is just like a mirage where we see the water in it, which is not at all there. Just as we see the snake on the rope in the darkness, it is some imaginary fact which is not there, because the truth is not seen, reality is not seen. That's how something is imagined on the superimposed on the reality, which is invisible. Because of invisibility, we see something else on the reality. That's how the world is seen as a process of action, reaction, or doer, doing, done, or cause and effect, or changing process, whatever, from whichever angle you see, and whatever you see, it is not the reality, and reality is not seen. That's how this unreality is imagined on the basic principle, that is reality, which is invisible. That's why we say we don't see the God. Why? Why don't you see the God, one, absolute one? Though it is ever present everywhere in all conditions, why don't you see it? Because the sphere also is changing, just as the God particles. God particles are there when atom is burst into pieces. It is said, if you pay attention towards it, then it seems to be changing particles. They are called God particles. If you don't pay attention, it remains as it is. Then how do you know it remains as it is? Because you don't pay attention, how can you say? And when you pay attention, you say it is changing. Then a question comes, who is changing, what is changing? Whether you are changing, your vision is changing, or the God particles are changing. Reality is everything is changing. And this changing phenomena can happen. It can be seen on the basement of unchanging stable platform. If nothing is unchanging, then where from you got this changing phenomena? Naturally, there should be a holder, a substratum, which is steady, never changing. That, because you don't see it, that's how you say it is changing. Just as I told now, the God particles. You are changing. And other example also we give as a person rowing in the boat on the river bank. He sees the plants or the objects, they are moving back. When you travel in a fast train, you see the side objects, they are moving back, but you are steady. Just opposite is the reality. You are moving, they are steady. So you see the objects are moving back, but you are steady. This is how our vision is just perverted vision. That's how we see all this to be real world, which is not real, which is moving every moment. That's how, now coming to our point, we cannot find any doer, a singular doer in this phenomena. If at all some action is being performed, then it is by a cooperative process. Cooperative action. So no singular doer can be found anywhere, by no means. If at all the action is done, it is a group effort. And this is what emphatically declared by Lord Krishna in Gita, Prakritehe kriyamanani gunehi sarva karmani sarvasa. The nature, which is the, we call it world, nature, the whole creative process. The nature does everything in a cooperative process, and the fool, greatest fool, identifying himself as something, he claims, I am the doer. I am the doer. So the wise man never claims himself to be a doer. The man of thinking, man of analysis, who contemplates over every action, how it is done, who has done, when it is done, by what means. So he finds there is no action, there is no reaction, neither the process is there, nor the seer of the process is found, nor the doer of the process is found. Nothing is there. Everything is some clumsy, some confusive, some elusive, some foggy vision what we see, where nothing is clear. Just as we see in the dense fog while driving a car, you see, even if you have focus light, even then you don't see, say, 20 yards, 30 yards ahead. Nothing you can see. This is how the world is not understood by anyone at any cost. But something is supposed to be as something. That's how the doer and enjoyer also is not to be found. Then the Purusartha we saw, Purusartha, the self-effort. The self also is not a singular identity. Self is, the individual self is eightfold body. Yesterday we discussed it. The chitta, subconscious mind, and the mind, the manager, including ego and intellect, and the prana, and then the body with senses. This triangular force, they do the actions, and ego says, I am. That ego is nothing but the inner self. Inner self is eightfold body, the 5 units of senses, sabda, sparsa, roop, ras, gandh, the sound, form, taste, touch, and smell. All these which are projected out as the 5 senses of knowledge, those 5 units, and the prana, the energy, and the mind, which is the say, driver or the manager of the body, senses. Prana, body and the mind. These three plus the 5 units. In this way it gets a group, becomes a group that is called the eightfold body. That is called the inner body. And that inner individual subtle body also is unable to do anything because that energy is it is inherited from the universal energy. It is just a limited process which is individual energy. Individual energy means individual prana. And this prana is nothing but, when we analytically see, this prana is nothing but movement. Energy is nothing but wavy system, changing system. One wave is transferred or modified or changed into the other wave. So energy is ever changing and it has different names in different phases, doing different actions. Same energy is named as different names. It is nothing but a imbalanced state that is called energy. Energy is not independent. It is dependent upon the basic state of equilibrium. Then only it can be imbalanced. So, the holder of the energy, that is, he is the real doer, which can never do anything. The real doer is absolute one, which is cause for all the manys. And that absolute one is absolutely steady, so it cannot do any action. So there is no doer, no enjoyer. Matter ends here. All the problems are solved.
Somebody is taking a glass of wine or juice, तो थोड़ा सा हिलता है. That is world.
Yes, that is world. This is the world. See, there are no bubbles, but they are created here.
There's movement here.
Movement is there.
On a base.
This is how the world is. And the truth also is because it cannot see itself. It cannot see itself. Seeing is a process. So to see itself, it has to forget itself and identify itself as something, as the ego, to see himself. Do you see yourself? If you see yourself, what do you see? Come on. Do you see yourself? If you at all see yourself, you see a part of you. Whatever you are, let it be the body or the anything, let it be mind or anything. As you think, I am so and so on. Even if it is a name, it is a form, whatever you are, can you see yourself? Seeing is a process. Yourself is not a process. So if at all you say, I am the body, then body cannot see the whole body. Body has to see the part of it. And the seeing process will be within the body. It is not outside the body. The eye see the hand means if there is a hand, there will be other parts also. So the one sees the many within itself. This is the final conclusion. One can see itself as many, it has to see the many within itself. That is called seeing process, and one becomes many, or the absolute becomes the world. The one becomes the creation. This is how. And in such condition, one has to forget oneself, then only it can see many. When you see the hand by your eyes, do you think eyes are seeing the hand? Who is seeing the hands? And do you remember yourself, I am seeing the hand? If at all you remember yourself as I, what is that I? Is it not eyes? Or is it not the mind? If the mind is seeing the hands, then where from mind gets ability to see? So the chain goes on. The whole process is a round process. The world is round. दुनिया गोल है. हाँ जी. In a circle, can you find where from it starts and where it ends? The starting itself is the end. This way, one has to find out who is the doer, and if this is found out, then everything is done. That means automatically you are at a standstill position. You cannot do anything, neither you can see, nor you can do anything. So, by itself you are the non-doer. And that is the goal of life, to be non-doer. But if at all you are doing, so you have to understand the whole group is doing as you, body or the personality with a individual being. Individual means the subtle being. Jivatma, the individual being, with the body, with all these, and it is also energized by the causal body. There is some presence which permits everything to move on. That means the absolute harmonious state that is there, that's how its presence is there, that's how this disharmony is seen over it. So that is the cause. That presence is the causal body which gives permission, which permits everything to go on. This is said in language. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. By his light, everything is lighted up, or by his presence, everybody works. By his fear, from his, by his fear only, every being, all the gods or all the process holders, the heads, departmental heads, subtle and gross, all they do their duties. Doing duties means going on properly in order, changing in order, that they do because of the fear of the absolute presence. Tasya bhayat vayu vahati. Because of his fear, the wind blows, the sun shines, the water flows. Because of his fear. What is his fear? His presence is the cause of all the fears. That's how it is said. Bhima. Bhima means Bhayankar. The terror of the terrorists. और भयंकर को क्या कहेंगे? भयंकर को क्या कहेंगे साजी? है? Fearful, fearsome. There is no word exact. Terrible, or terror, or horror, or the terrific.
That's more positive. That's more positive.
Anything you think it, understand it. Name it as you can. It is the most pleasant than the most pleasant, more pleasant than the most pleasant, more terror than the most terrific, and that is quicker than the quickest, and nearer than the nearest, bigger than the biggest, smaller than the smallest, as you think it can be. Because it is beyond our thinking. So in this way, if we can divert our attention by contemplating in this analytical and logical way, whatever we have heard from the scriptures or from the mouths of great people, when we go on in pondering over all these words and word meanings, and then we see this is contemplation is called direction, directing our mind towards the absolute or our goal. It should be diverted. It should be directed. This is called, so-called self-effort should be directed towards the development of, or the upliftment of, or the realization of the self. जितने प्रयास हम करते हैं, पुरुषार्थ इसी को कहते हैं. Whatever is done for the sake of the Purush, the indweller, the truth, that is called Purushartha, self-effort. Whatever effort is done for the self, that is called self-effort. So all these efforts, whether you are the doer or the group is doer, never mind, but it should be directed towards that absolute then only you can have the absolute solution, absolute freedom, absolute rest forever and ever. जिसमें मन रूप पिशाच घूम रहा है, काम क्रोध रूप काले मेघों से जो सदा व्याकुल रहता है, ऐसा संसार रात्रि के घने अंधकार में अपने आत्मा ही पूर्ण चंद्रमा है. Now he gives an example. This world is a dark night. World is nothing but dark night, where all these ghosts, all these saitans, they are dancing. Nothing is visible, nothing is seen, nothing is known. That is called darkness, and full of black clouds in the sky. But you may argue, if there are black clouds, then there must be little lightning, and then we can see everything. So why should you say this is dark night? No, it is dark night, and that lightning is possible once in a while, that is rarely seen. And it happens for the persons who are eager to see something. Only for them there is lightning. Or else others are sleeping in this dark night. Even though there will be lightning, nothing they can see. You are sleeping with doors and windows closed in your bedroom. Do you know what is going on outside, even though it is raining and thundering and lightning? You know nothing. Similarly, these ignorant persons, they are asleep and they don't know anything about this. That not knowing, ignorance is known as darkness. Why do they not know anything? Because everything is changing every moment. So how can you know anything? That is the only process which is cause for all our ignorance. Nothing we can know. Nothing we can know. There is no possibility of knowing anything. Whatever you know now, it is gone. So what do you know? This is how time, space and conditions, they create this ignorance and darkness of the world. And this dark night, where all these terrific ghosts and saitans are dancing, it is so terrific night. In this, who is there to give you little light, soothing light? Only the moon can give it. But it is dark night. So, to end this dark night, you must give rise the full moon. That is yourself. You must see the self. You must be the self. You must realize the self. That is the full moon, which can give you soothing, nectarian light, and you can enjoy the night. All the darkness will be.
Swamiji, there are at least two definitions of self. One is the ego, and the other is the substratum, or you can see it as substratum.
What?
Self. What is the definition of self?
Self. अभी इतने बार बता रहा. Self varies. The definition of self varies from object to object when you compare it. Self means the central, essential holder which holds the whole totality. That is called self.
So right now it's ego.
If the center is there, then only the circle is there. The center is called the self of the circle. So when this self is compared, it is a comparative term. And when you compare many things in different ways, the meaning of self also changes. When you compare the group leader with the group leader will be the self of the group. Now, the body is a multiple group. Body means many things together. The trust body, the village body, the cooperative body. Body means a group. So body means we have several identities in this body. Our physical body, let it be. So it is a group, and it has got some central point which controls the whole body. So that is called the Jivatma, the self of the being. Self of the being. And that abides in the center of the body. And that center is known as the heart. Heart means the center. Not always here it is understood as the center of the body. So that is called self. So who is in the center? Just now we discussed. It is the eightfold body which is known as the individual being or Jivatma or the subtle body. Subtle body is the center of the gross body. So where is it available? It is available in the center. Because that center is named as heart of hearts, the cave of caves, the innermost part, that is called center. And take it as you like, imagine as you like. So it is a comparative self now. When it is compared with the gross body, it is called subtle body. And when this subtle body also is compared with other bodies, then that other body will be the self, means the causal body. Just as the presence of the government makes all the government officials to do their duties. The presence of the government is not a singular identity. It is a total identity which is known as government. And the representative will be somebody one, say chairman or president or the absolute director, whosoever, he is the governing body and he will be the supreme self. And when you go on comparing the state governments, then state governments are the selves and the self of self will be the central government, central president or anybody. In this way, we can see the district management and state management. So, when you go inner and inner, which is more and more powerful and uh, more pervading, more governing, more controlling, that will be the super self. Slowly, when we go on comparing, one becomes the self of the other. The outer is the inner is the self of the outer. In this way, the Supreme Self is Paramatma. Paramatma is the absolute self, Supreme Self. Beyond that, there is nobody. So he is the center of all the centers. And that will be, it has to be the innermost, inner than the innermost, and outer than the outermost, and that will be bigger than the biggest because it holds everything. It will be smaller than the smallest because it is the center of everything. So in this way we can name it or we can understand it. In this way we can say it is ever present everywhere in all conditions, because if you find out the center in a circle, everywhere there is center. Anywhere and everywhere there will be centers. Similarly, the presence of the Absolute is all-pervading. That's how it is seen by all-round vision only. You cannot see by limited vision. You cannot see it. Our vision is always limited. It is subject to change. Our vision changes and everything is limited here. So we cannot see the unlimited. Just as you cannot see the whole body at a time.
But the unlimited is seeing through us.
Ji?
They are his eyes.
Yes, that's how it is said. It has eyes everywhere, hands everywhere, legs everywhere. Thousands of legs and eyes and hands, and he is everywhere. So he sees everything. So he does everything. That's how he does nothing. Whatever you want to think on it, it has to be in this way. It has to be unlimited. You cannot limit it. And if you limit it, that is individual being, and limit by every sense. Your vision also will be limited, so you cannot see the unlimited one. So, In this dark night, that is world, where nothing is seen, means everything is confusive, everything is changing. The unchanging moon, that will be the source of soothing nectarian light, that is your self of selves. You have to give rise that Purna Chandrama, the full moon. You have to understand full moon. Full means full in all sense. Full means it is unlimited. Unlimited can be full. If it is limited, how it can be full? It has limitations. So, unless and until we are one with, we unite with the Absolute One, then everything is good for nothing. Whatever we see, whatever we know, whatever we have as the world, it is good for nothing. That's how it is cause for all the limited things. That's how it is cause for the all innumerable desires, because it is limited. So it has the tendency to be unlimited. When you have lacking something, you are lacking something, then only you have the need for that, whatever you are lacking. Because you are limited, that's how you lack something, and that's how you wish for something and desire for something. That's how our efforts, knowingly or unknowingly, the whole tendency of the whole universe is to have fullness, to have perfection. That is how the journey of the soul, or we can say evolution process, where the evolution ends, where is the end of evolution process? When there is no more need of evolution, then only it will end. This is how we know our life's journey as endless journey, or evolution process, or journey towards the perfection. This journey will end when you are one with the Absolute. Then only. And that is called mukti, freedom from the cycle. Freedom from the cycle of all these changes, repetition of all these changes. विवेक ही पार कर देने वाला है, इस बात को बतलाने के लिए संसार का समुद्र रूप से वर्णन करते हैं. Now he has given us some examples. Vasistha gives some examples to Rama. This world is just like a dark night where everybody is asleep. Nothing is known, nothing is seen. And you have to invite your full moon. Then only this darkness of night will be overcome. Now he says this world is just like a ocean where there is no that side, the unseen bank or the limit. It is unlimited ocean. Now how to go across it? He says, Vivek is the boat. Discrimination is your boat. What does discrimination says? What does it do? Discrimination helps us to find out, to decide which is perishable and what is imperishable. It shows it clearly. This is perishable, it is changeable, and it is subject to decay. Every moment it is changing, and this side it is unchanging, eternal state of the absolute. So when decisively dividing both from each other, you have been able to see distinctly that vision is called discrimination, which shows you what is perishable and what is imperishable. And the moment you see the distinction, the difference, naturally you will hold the imperishable. Say, even if you give 2 toys to a child, one is half broken and it is breaking now, getting into pieces, and the other is very strong one. So what the child will select? What will it select? Naturally, even the unknown child, ignorant child will select the unbroken and the strong one. So our nature is to accept the reality, inner nature. But this inner nature is covered up by outer nature. Outer nature is always changing. So it is covered up as it were. Just as in winter days, you cover up your body with thick blankets. Similarly, this world is a covering over the truth. And when discrimination dawns, then the inner is visible. So naturally you will throw off the outer covering and you will accept yourself or the thing which you are searching for. अगाध एवं मरण रूप भौरों के कल्लोलों से व्याकुल कोटरों से युक्त तृष्णा रूपी तरंगों से तरल और अपने मन रूपी झंझावातों से युक्त स्थावर आदि बड़े बड़े भूत रूप जल कणों से व्याप्त संसार रूपी बड़े विषम सागर को पार करने में, जो कि इंद्रिय रूप मगरों से अति गहन है, विवेक ही एक बड़ा भारी जहाज है जिससे तुम पार कर सकते हो इस संसार सागर को. He says this terrific ocean which is full of dangers, you can go across by the help of the great strong boat, that is discrimination. कहे गए प्रश्न उत्तरों का संक्षेप करके उपसंहार करते हैं कि पूर्व वर्णित शास्त्र विहित पूजन से प्रसन्न हुआ आत्मा परम विवेक रूप परम पवित्र दूत भेजकर सत्संग शास्त्र और परमार्थ वस्तु के उत्तम बोधन द्वारा जीव को अद्वितीय निर्मल और सर्वोच्च पद प्राप्त कराता है. He says, in this chapter we have been discussing since a quite long period. We are discussing on the point उत्तम वैराग्य के दृढ़ हो जाने पर पुरुष की जिन लक्षणों से स्थिति होती है तथा ज्ञान में निष्ठा हो जाने पर जिन लक्षणों से स्थिति होती है उसका वर्णन we were discussing in this chapter, which is ending now. What is that state of a wise man who is fully merged in that absolute knowledge? That means knowledge which never changes. What happens to that state when one is one with it? And how it looks like, how it behaves, how that person behaves with the world, and how does it look at the world, and what is the way to have it. All these we were discussing. The helping hand is vairagya, dispassion, and discrimination. And when one is established on that truth, then he looks at this world as a dark night or invisible, some phenomena, foggy, confusive, elusive, something which he never pays attention, and he is ever glad, ever enjoying there in the absolute, and he never feels himself as a doer or enjoyer or a cause for anything. He remains always the neutral to all these worlds. He lives at present beyond time, space and conditions, and he is the non-doer, non-enjoyer, and he is the witness of this dark night as the world. Sees nothing, doesn't want to see anything, nor does want to do anything. He cannot do anything. And if at all he sees the absolute truth in every condition, everywhere, by all means. He sees the absolute truth only. His vision becomes the ultimate, all-round vision, all-pervading vision, and he becomes one with the absolute. Thus ends the 48th chapter. पुरुष को सबसे पहले संसार में वैराग्य द्वारा विराग दशा प्राप्त करना चाहिए, फिर सत्संग, सत्समागम और शास्त्रों का अभ्यास करना चाहिए। अनंतर तत्वमसि आदि शास्त्रों के अर्थों का दृढ़ भावना कर भोगों से विरक्त हो जाना चाहिए। इतना करने के अनंतर अभी कहे गए वैतृष्ण्य की यानी संतोष की दृढ़ता बन जाएगी और फिर अपने असली स्वरूप की वह अवश्य प्राप्त हो जाएगा, असली स्वरूप को प्राप्त हो जाएगा। ये now we have discussed everything. In essence, we shall see tomorrow the essence of the whole chapter. What is the process to get into that state? That we shall see in essence, means the conclusion of this. In short, first of all, the good association, hearing the words of the scriptures and the wise men, saints and sages, and contemplating over those words and understanding it, and having dispassion towards the worldly objects, and then discontact, having dispassion and renouncing all those, and then dawn of discrimination. These are the process, slowly, step by step. After dawn of discrimination, the seeker reaches that absolute state and enjoy the eternal bliss. This we shall again see in shortcut the essence of this chapter. What is the process to the absolute? What is the way? Thus ends this chapter 48th. Hari Om. Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। शब्द ब्रह्म की जय। सरस्वती महारानी की जय। जोग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। हरि ओम।